Hey guys, my name is Ryan and welcome to Overwatch Central. It's just me today as I want to talk about my main hero, and that is Reinhardt. Now in this video I want to talk about a meta report that Omnic Meta have done. It's a great website, we honestly love them to pieces. You can check them out below with some insight into the popularity of certain heroes across the competitive landscape within Overwatch. Whilst I don't necessarily want to go through the whole report that was published, I do recommend checking it out yourself though. There's some pretty interesting reads in there too. I do want to highlight this bit. These stats show which heroes have increased in popularity overall in the different ranks, but also which ones have decreased. So let's quickly go over the ones that have gone up. Overall, we're seeing a little bit of Farah dotting up as well. It's like a weather report, this. Hanzo, again, has increased. Diva, Winston. And look how much Trace has gained in popularity. Grandmaster, a good 15%, which is massive. But then, let's look at which heroes have fallen down a little bit. And you're seeing a pretty big trend here. Reinhardt is the most popular hero to drop in all the categories, apart from Grandmaster. But that's only because Roadhog is dropping a lot more as well. We did a video about a week, 2 weeks ago, talking about which heroes actually lose popularity the higher that you climb, just because some heroes are better in that position. Other mechanics have said heroes don't really fit with the dive meta, which is very prevalent at the top of GM, top 500, and of course in the pro scene. So let's talk about Reinhardt. What is his problem currently, and is he a bad hero now? I can answer that straight away. No, he is not a bad hero by any stretch of the imagination. He's still incredibly effective with the right teams, and honestly I feel he's a much solid option to have on defense rather than offense now, simply because the main point is talking about Winston. Winston is great for these dive compositions. We've spoken about this before. He's a hero that's very good at initiating and engaging the enemy fairly quickly, taking down squishy heroes that have no movement abilities such as Zen and Ana, but can also finish off enemies that are trying to get away with minimal health. The idea of dive, it's mobile, it can climb up the sides of buildings if needs be, and is very good at getting in and out of difficult situations. Now Winston is just a lot better at this than Reinhardt is. Reinhardt is a slow mover. When the triple tank meta was a thing, he was a hero that moved at a slower pace in a death ball with Lucio, but with the Lucio changes as well, Reinhardt can just get left on his own a lot more, and he's a lot harder to play than he was when I first started playing him properly in about season 3. That's the main crux of it. The Winston is just a lot better on attack especially. He's much more mobile, can jump on the enemy with his team, and just fits that much more aggressive, fast-paced lineup more than Reinhardt does. Not only that, Reinhardt, much like Roadhog, is very susceptible to be dived on, and if his team aren't with him, then he's easy pickings for whoever's there. Not only that, we have seen over the last week or two, we did a video about this accidental nerf where he feels a little bit laggy currently because his hit registration on his weapon is a little bit off. I don't know if that's been changed, whether that's been patched into the game or not yet, but that's something that I will have to keep an eye on as well. So that might also be a reason why we've seen a drop in popularity in Reinhardt, because people have been aware of this bug and basically are going, let's not play him this week, let's play Winston a little bit as well. But that would make sense to why Reinhardt is dropping in higher tiers, GM, Master and Diamond, why he's dropping in popularity. And of course, looking at who's rising as well, we're seeing Diva and Winston come up, which in a lot of cases are better tanks in those situations too. But I do want to say to people that do play Reinhardt now and again, and they're sort of looking at this going, should I not play Reinhardt in these situations? I would implore you to still pick him on defense, simply because playing dive on defense is a really meticulous thing to do. Reinhardt is incredibly good at just holding the door. He's very good at putting his shield in the chokes, taking some of that damage, and basically being a massive boulder in the way of the enemy so they can't just run through the choke in Hanamura, in Eichenwald, under the car wash in Dorado on the first point. He's basically there to be like, no, buddy, you're not coming through without a fight on your hands. With Winston, it's a little bit trickier. You don't have a massive shield that you could just keep putting up whenever you need to. You kind of have to wait for the enemy to come in before you jump on them. But by then, already the enemy can get through these chokes, and a lot of the time the floodgates open from there. Winston is a hero that I do okay with on attack if I have a dive team that can play with me and can help me and reinforce me, and the same thing goes for control. But on maps like attacking Hanamura or any of the capture points when it comes to attacking and defending, I really wouldn't want to do it without a Reinhardt just to mitigate some of that damage coming in. So when should you play Reinhardt? Well, it depends on your team a lot of the time. If you have nobody to protect when it comes to mobility, such as a soldier, Roadhog, your healers, if you're not moving as a unit, then Winston might be a better choice, say play if you have a Genji, a Pharah, a Tracer, a D.Va on your team that are just going to go off and do their own thing anyway, then you're better off playing Winston to help reinforce that. For me, I would still play Reinhardt on defense for a lot of maps. On attack, if you have that kind of team, then you can play Winston, but if not, stick with Reinhardt. But for control, apart from a couple of specific rounds, these rounds are the University level on Oasis, Sanctum on Nepal, and Control Center on Lijiang. The reason why I want to say these rounds specifically is because they are very tight chokes that Reinhardt's shield snugly fits into, meaning that you can block a lot of that damage coming in, and you can sort of push through those dirty chokes without getting anybody killed by just spam, basically. But if it's not working, change, and that counts for both going from Winston to Reinhardt, Reinhardt to Winston, Winston to D.Va, Reinhardt to D.Va. Basically change if it's not working. But going back over the core issue, is Reinhardt now a bad pick? Is he now going to go out of the meta? No, it really is just that Winston suits a lot of the team compositions a lot more currently, and this is the trickle down mechanic that I've been speaking about in previous videos as well. That eventually the pros start taking a tactic, pros then play it competitive, and it trickles down all the way from top 500 to GM, which we're now seeing trickle all the way down to even Platinum with playing Winston instead of Reinhardt. Both are very good picks, but Winston is in a really good spot currently. The Koreans absolutely love him, and even though people say that he's a no brain, no aim kind of hero, he is incredibly important when it comes to winning games. So if you're considering playing Winston, now is a very good time. If you play a lot of Reinhardt and you're a bit worried, then by all means pick up Winston. That's what I'm going to try and do as well. But should you be worried if you're a Reinhardt player? Honestly, no. I really don't think he's going to drop out completely. But that's my opinion, so let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And until next time, take care. We'll see you then.